Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is David Boyko, and I'm also known as Boyko Bear. I am a stone sculptor, wood sculptor, and mosaic artist primarily. I also do some painting and all that good stuff. Here's my first tutorial video. I've been loading most of my videos as shorts, but here I'll kind of go through the whole process if you want to watch the whole video and see how I work on these rune sculptures. I'll be posting a lot more videos of different art pieces I'm working on, and I'll be giving instruction on how I do it. Everybody learns from different artists. I learn from a lot of my co-workers, construction workers, as well as other artists on what their process is. And I think giving back and sharing with other people is very important. So here I'm starting out a sculpture called Opekun, which is this is limestone that I got from the hills over close to my house. I like to hike a lot of these boulders out. They're quite heavy. This one I think is about anywhere from 60 to 100 pounds, maybe even more. Really hard to tell. I should put it on a scale, but this one is already out the door and at the customer's house. I called this one Opekun, which is the word for guardian. And the reason I called it that is because I ended up putting the client's dog's paw prints on this piece. And in my eyes, dogs are some of the best guardians on our planet. They hold a very near and dear place in my heart. So I was really happy to be able to do this piece and give something memorable to the client. So as you can see, I'm using a grinder right now. I start off by penciling in my design, then I score with the grinder, and then I begin making all the lines a little deeper. When I get to the smaller curves, I use different tools. I'll either use the Dremel. I also just recently bought myself some smaller grinder discs that protrude a little bit more, and I'm able to get into those tight spots. Didn't get to use it on this piece, but I am excited for future pieces. And then here you can see me connecting the top spiral with the bottom spiral. And I like these designs because the symbology behind double spirals is balance. And as I'm working on these pieces, I get a lot of relief because I don't have to think too hard on these rune sculptures. They're more free flow, and I get to do what I want to do rather than having more of an anatomical sculpture that I have to pay attention to exactly where the fingers go or the facial structure. So these pieces are a lot more freeing, and just I get to do kind of what I want and follow the rock's curvature and what's aesthetic to me. Always important to have a sponge with water on it nearby. As you can see, as I do each pass, I drip some more water. I like to wash away all the dust, see where I'm working, and then here I'm using the Dremel to get into the inner spiral and go a little bit deeper, give that spiral some depth. The Dremel does take a little bit longer than a grinder. The grinder does take a lot more material off quicker, but easy does it. Have some patience, and your piece will come out amazing. In this part of the piece, I'm starting to work out the side ribbons. I like them coming into a point kind of underneath or in between both of the spirals, and then what I'm doing is I'm running it up over the top and connecting it to a top spiral. Here you see me using that grinder, getting in a little bit of scoring, but that inner section is going to need that Dremel, so I bring that back out. I use diamond bits for all the stone carving, and once again, make sure you're using all that water. I love watching these videos and seeing the water dry off. I wish the carving process went this quickly, but it does take hours and days, depending on how complicated the piece is. But that is the appreciation of sculpting and any artwork, really. I'm curious what people would pay for this, or how many people would want a piece like this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Where would you put a piece like this? Would you put it in your house, your garden? Would you put it in the office? Let me know. I also am looking into possibly putting these into some parks and stuff. So if you know of any, parks that want pieces like this, please reach out to me either in the comments, in my email, or you can also find me on Instagram as Boyko Bear and, just DM me. Checking my work. I also am spending a little bit of time admiring this spider. I love working outside because I get to take a look at all the critters. I'll be posting a lot more critter videos in my shorts. Sometimes the grinder gouges out areas that I didn't necessarily want to gouge out, so I'll go through with the Dremel and fix those gouges. Nobody's perfect, so remember, you can always fix whatever you have done. I mean, it's not going to be maybe exactly what you wanted, but there's always a fix, so never lose hope. Here I'm adding on to the side, giving it another ribbon, connecting it kind of in an arrow pattern of sorts. And I take a lot of my muse from different tribal art, Celtic art. I'm Ukrainian, Russian, so I take a lot of my stuff from my culture and heritage. And then also, you just pick up from the world. We pretty much all have a lot of similarities. The wheel has been reinvented over and over and over. So here I am just using my grinder wheel to make some spirals. Now I've moved on to the back side of the piece where I've added also a double spiral. It will be kind of a common theme amongst these rune sculptures, but I will also change it up. I have a couple other pieces that I'll be making videos on soon, and you'll see all the different styles that I kind of incorporate, different ideas. Over on this side, I'm adding the side ribbon piece as well. And yeah, this side's gonna eventually end up connecting to the other side that I've already worked on. I kind of slowly map out how I'm gonna connect all the lines through the bottoms. The only endpoints I have here are in the spiral. Otherwise the lines all connect. Here I've scored the sides, so then I move over to the other side and outline how I'm gonna connect everything, scoring it all, and then I go through again and make it deeper. I clean up also a lot of the work outside of my videos. It's it's a hard process filming every little tidbit, but I am working on it and I will make better content as I go. I don't think I'm doing too shabby starting out right now. We're adding another spiral over up at the top over here, and that kind of ends a line that I didn't have anywhere to connect to. Here I'm laying the piece on its side so I can start connecting all the lines at the bottom of the piece. Sometimes I'll drill a hole in the bottom and mount a piece, but this exact sculpture is going into a garden, and it does not need a mount, and the client preferred it just sitting naturally. Here's an overview of all the carving I did. I'm pretty much done with adding new designs. At this point, I'm gonna be moving on to adding the paw prints. What do you guys think? Would you want a sculpture like this? Is this your cup of tea? Let me know in the comments. I love the grainy look of the stone. And here I'm cleaning everything up. So yeah, all the designs are set. Now it's just about making all the lines look deep. That way the shadows play a role in the color and how the piece looks. Tons of grinding, never ends. And here you see me adding the paw prints. The way we did this was when your pups pass away, you get a paw print, and then I went by hand and transferred it over to some paper. Then I did it onto vellum, and then I took the vellum and cut it out and put it onto as a stencil, and then I transferred the stencil via marker and then colored in with some colored pencil. That way I could see what I'm working out, and where all the low points are I put X's and get it as close as possible. This pup's name was Pippin. Good old Pippin, Lord of the Rings, baby. Now we got the other pup going in. This pup's name was Token. Once again, Lord of the Rings. Client really likes Lord of the Rings. And the pups, I did know them while they were still with us, and they were amazing pups. So I'm really stoked to be able to do a piece like this for some amazing people and to honor some amazing pups. Adding a little bit of water, working in, this was kind of hard, but working in the claws. Every paw print is different. I like to sometimes take my dog's paw prints and put them into concrete just to kind of see what paws look like, you know. Here I'm working in the depth and getting it just right so the print stands out. It's crazy to look at in person because it looks like the dogs just walk through your stone. So here I'm working on putting T for token. My billet that holds the bits and the Dremel broke while I was working on this, so you can see that bit is moving around a little bit. I would not recommend doing that, but I was kind of in a bind and just trying to finish off my day. So I worked through it, ended up fixing it later. If you got any questions about this process, just feel free to reach out to me, like and subscribe. Feel free to email me or message me on Boyko Bear. In my Instagram, I'm willing to do collabs, and also I take on any commissions, so feel free to reach out. And don't forget, click that subscribe button and give me a like. I will be posting plenty more content, similar and different. Stay tuned for all the cool content I'll be making.